Say, remember when I did that top 7 list a while back? Remember seeing clips from a Goofy movie that I used for the number 1 spot? Guess what we're reviewing today? Yeah, ever since I did that list, I've been dying to review this movie. Now, of course, this is based off the TV show, Goof Troop, which I also don't remember seeing alongside DuckTales, but I don't think it's necessary here since you can probably come into this movie blind. And why not? It's Goofy we're talking about. How can you go wrong with everyone's favorite goof? If you're expecting an answer, forget it. Let's look at the awesome that is a Goofy movie. We open with some lovely 90s animation where we see one of our main characters named Max, voiced by James Marsden. He's your typical low-grade teenager who has the obvious crush on the supposed cute girl in school, Roxanne. And apparently, he likes to dream her up in somewhat revealing dresses. Well, they are teenagers, so I shouldn't be too surprised. But then...
What's wrong?
But now we get to meet the star of this movie, Goofy, in all of his goofiness. He's voiced by the current voice actor of him, Bill Farmer.
What's the big rush?
I'm running late.
Ooh, I could drive you in on my way to work.
No thanks. I need an exercise.
Oh, come on, Max.
Oh, Dad, you ruined it.
Now, of course, this movie is playing off the father and son formula in which the kid can't stand the father, and it results in him doing something to affect both of them before eventually coming to terms with one another. But even though we know how this movie will play out, it's the process of getting there that will be interesting, since it's Goofy we're talking about, and anything can happen with him. Now, in the tradition of Disney, we get song sequences in which everyone seems to be perfectly in sync with, like it's some sort of universal law. Some of them in this movie are okay, like this one for instance.
After today, she'll be mine. After today, my brains will be snoozing. If I don't faint, I'll be fine.
I've got 40 more minutes of home economics.
Then down with the textbook and up with the comics. Just think of all the time I've been losing, finding the right thing to say.
It's like the 90s version of High School Musical, but much better. It's not totally over the top, but it's just enough to where it's still fun to watch and listen to. Anyway, Max has a plan to try and impress Roxanne, and helping him are his friends PJ, voiced by Rob Paulson, and Bobby, voiced by Pauly Shore.
Dude, need fundage, bro.
Oh, your feet. Yeah, right here.
Cheddar! Ah! Cheddar, where's it?
It's pretty scrumptious.
I'm not sure how to react to the actor, but the character? Weirdo much? So what is the big plan? Well, first off, it's to remove the principal, voiced by Wallace Shawn, and then do a song and cosplay of a Michael Jackson / Prince wannabe named Powerline, who has the singing voice of Tevin Campbell.
In a bit, just a matter of time before I move to the front of the line. Once you're watching every move that I make, you gotta believe that I got a way.
And I swear, the songs involving Tevin Campbell remind me of Michael Jackson, especially the last song. Personally, I find these to be the best songs of the movie since the lyrics are so 90s and that voice is still pretty cool. And the visuals?
People settle for the typical thing, living all their lives waiting in the wings. It ain't
Just awesome. Meanwhile, we see that Goofy works at a photo booth alongside Pete, voiced by Jim Cummings, who also happens to be the father of PJ, thereby making them the only known cats in this universe, unless you want to count his missing wife and daughter. And he's still just as despicably enjoyable and funny as he always is.
Gosh, Pete, you sure are good with kids.
Oh, yeah, well, they love me. Why, PJ, he's been begging me to take him on vacation this summer.
Really? Where are you going?
Camping. Nothing like the great outdoors to strengthen the bond between a father and a son.
Now, I like how he doesn't play an antagonist like he would in other cartoons or in Kingdom Hearts. Pete is the kind of character who, like Goofy, can use his personality of being a jerk and fit the role of anything that the writers can put him in. Here, he's just a hard-loving father who just has his own way of dealing with his son, and the only thing he does to affect the plot is teach Goofy some personal parenting methods that I'm sure some of us, or parents we know, had to go through.
What's wrong when a kid won't spend time with his parents? Well, for all you know, he's running around with some gang and stealing stuff and causing riots and...
No, Max is a good kid. He'd never get mixed up in something like that.
One scene later.
Your son caused the entire student body to break into a riotous frenzy.
Riot? Couldn't be
If I
mine.
were you, Mr. Goof, I'd seriously reevaluate the way you're raising your child before he ends up in the electric chair.
The electric chair?
Jeez, what a party pooper Rex. So Goofy is worried his son may go delinquent. But, remembering what Pete said, he decides to do what every father likes doing. Fishing trip! As for Max, he gets the pleasure of Roxanne talking to him, and him asking her out to a party. Not only that, but it seems the whole school is talking highly of him now for what he did, and suddenly he's got the cool in him to do the impossible. Looks like he's on top of the world!
Going somewhere, Pop?
Sure are, pal Rooney.
Cool. Have a good time, Dad. If you're gonna be gone more than a month, drop me a line.
But Max, this isn't just my vacation. It's a vacation with me and my best buddy.
Oh, Donald Duck?
No, silly. With you.
And this is the main bulk of the movie. The two going out together and doing things despite not really getting along. Now it's just a matter of what kind of things they'll do, the kind of humor we get out of it. I mean, again, we all know what the end result will be, but given the characters, it's just a matter of how they'll get with it. By the way, this will lead into some continuity issues later, but essentially, they're going to Lake Destiny, Idaho. So why is Los Angeles circled on the map along with the Idaho location?
Set for adventure, Maxie?
Why are you doing this to me, Dad?
Because I don't want you to end up in the electric chair.
Electric chair? What do you
I'm not giving up on you, son. Together, we're gonna work this out.
work this out? But, Dad...
No buts about it, Maxie boy. Your old pop knows best.
But, of course, the writing has to be set up to where it can't end the movie early. Like, you know, Max telling Goofy about his new girlfriend and how he was going out with her. Speaking of, he at least tries to say goodbye to her, but it looks like it isn't going well. So what does he do?
My dad's taking me to the Powerline concert in L.A.
Yay.
Your dad's taking you clear across the country just to see a concert?
Well, you see, my dad, knows Powerline. They used to play together in a band. I was hoping I could, wave to you on stage when we joined Powerline for the final number.
This is incredible.
Well, I wouldn't miss our date for anything that wasn't incredible, Roxanne. Mwah.
Wow, that guy sounds like a really big liar.
Thus begins the road trip into hell, as Goofy tries to bond with his son, who wants to do nothing with him. This results in some fun moments, like this next song sequence, which is not as good as the previous two, but the visuals are still fun.
If your nerves are raw and your brain is fried, just grab a friend and take a ride together on the open road.
Howdy, boys. Is this the way to Nashville?
Watch it, Mac, or you'll be getting towed.
I'll be dirtbags in my dust from now on. I own the open road.
I especially like how a zombie starts breaking into dance and no one cares. If anything, this is just a little bit more over the top. However, the two bonding can lead to some forced moments like this scene, where they stop at a possum emporium.
Now gather round, my possum pals, join the jamboree. Come hoot and howl and holler from the heart.
This is pathetic.
Hey, it could be worse. You could have gone to the Goofy Goober.
Oh, I'm a goofy goober, yeah. You're a goofy goober, yeah. We're all goofy goobers, yeah. Goofy, 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 goober, yeah.
But this is where it gets really forced. Goofy may be a goofball, but he doesn't tend to force himself into silly situations like this. I mean, this is something a childlike character would do. Goofy is more on the adult Goofy behavior, and even as a parent trying to impress his kid, I can't see him doing this. The only reason this is happening is to have Max show how serious him being embarrassed has on him for having such a father.
Hey, what the heck you trying to do?
Trying to get away from you.
Me? What'd I do? Oh, dropped your hat.
This is the stupidest vacation. You drive me from home, you jam me in this dumb car, then drive 1,000,000 miles away to see some stupid rat show. Call me when the trip's over.
It just feels a bit mean-spirited. This whole scene is. They had to put it in for dramatic effect, sure, but it just doesn't feel all that natural for these characters, at all. At least there aren't a whole lot of these scenes, and from here on they do better with some of the drama. So the next day, they start to set up camp when holy crap! And I thought Mr. Pataki had a huge ass RV. Anyway, it's Pete and PJ who show up. Apparently, Roxanne told everyone at school that Max is going to the Powerline concert, since PJ knows about it, which further adds on to the guilt of the ridiculous lie. As for Goofy, he gets some father-to-father advice from Pete on how to control your child.
If you keep them under your thumb, they'll never end up in the gutter. PJ!
Yes, sir. Coming, sir. Yes, sir.
Woo-hoo! Strike-ola! Yeah, thank you, thank you. Yes, and the crowd goes wild. Ah!
But that only lasts as long as this scene, as Goofy gets Max to go fishing and even shows him his perfect cast that will no doubt be used later on. It's so perfect that it lands Bigfoot? Well, you know what happens when you see a Bigfoot in your cartoon. Run away like little girls!
Hurry up! Hurry up!
I got the only video.
We're gonna be famous.